Hi and welcome to the only hour on Michigan Cable TV dedicated to talking solely about football signing day. The day dreams are realized and fans hope this is the class that can help put their favorite college program on top. Welcome to the third annual State Champs Signing Day Special. I'm Lauren Plant. Just this past football season, State Champs filmed 200 games, produced 700 highlights, featuring thousands of players making plays just in 2014. We've assembled an expert panel of analysts who make it their business to give you the 411 on who's going where and what impact they should have at the next level. Plus, a few of our high school stars will make their college choice right here. For the next hour, we talk the top 10 in the state, the top juniors, conferences large and small. Get their love here. The State Champs Signing Day Special starts right now. Champs Signing Day Special is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughraiser.com for details. The Detroit Sports Commission, where champions are made and championships are played. Log on to detroitsports.org. Hey everybody, welcome to the third annual State Champs Signing Day Special, coming to you from the brand new set here in the State Champs studios. Gentlemen, you have to agree, this is pretty sweet.
Pretty immaculate.
It's rad.
Friendly Very snazzy.
Enough of the ad-libbing. All right, we're going to get to this right away. We have got a lot to get to. We have, again, guys who make covering high school sports their business, give you their opinions on recruits all over the state of Michigan, where they're going and the impact they're going to have at the next level. So why don't we just get right into it and let's talk about the top 10 recruits in the state. Basically what this is guys that we feel maybe weren't recognized as the best players in the state, but guys that we feel will make the best transition to play college football. So let's start with Scott Bernstein. StateChampsNetwork.com writes a lot of recruiting stuff for us, as well as a longtime writer for the Oakland Press. And this year's Hungry Howie's Mr. Football winner, the former Brother Rice quarterback. I say former because he's already enrolled in college, already at Michigan. He was ranked third on our list, Alex Malzone.
If basketball fans might remember the answer, Allen Iverson. Well, if you're a Michigan football fan, Alex Malzone is your answer. He's going to come in my opinion, he's going to compete to start. If I had to predict, I would predict he'll be your starting quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines come late August 2015. Just a complete and total winner, a leader. I'm in love with Alex Malzone, and I think he's got nothing but a very, very bright future at the University of Michigan.
All right, fourth on our list. Won a state title with Orchard Lake St. Mary's. He's a Michigan State commit, and we're talking about Tyson Smith, a big part of their success.
I think Tyson Smith has a possible similar trajectory to Allen Robinson, but maybe on the other side of the ball as a cornerback or a safety. Now, I would not be surprised as well to see him on the offensive side of the ball. That's how diverse of a talent he is.
Well said. Let's go over to Tom Markowski, senior editor at StateChampsNetwork.com, of course. Decades and decades at the Detroit News covering high school sports. One of the two guys repping Detroit King number 6 in our list is the outside linebacker Tyreek Thompson, joining that MSU defense.
Well, he played inside linebacker for King and really was outstanding there. He's undersized, about 6'1", kind of played a free safety type of position, but always attacked the line of scrimmage, attacked the quarterback. I really like his attitude. I like his intensity.
We taped this a little early in the week, and we got news right before taping that Southfield safety Dior Johnson decommitted from Wake Forest. Whatever D1 school he remains at, talk is upside.
Well, you know, he could be Minnesota bound, but whoever gets the Johnson will get a marvelous receiver or a free safety. Now, he can play both positions. He's really an athlete that recruiters are recruiting him for.
All right, well, let's go over to Kyle Bogenschutz. Wears a couple of hats, of course, over at Scout.com. You see him every week on the Recruit Report on the State Champs High School Sports Show. Another Mr. Football finalist, Mr. Mike Weber from Cass Tech, Ohio State bound, we think. Our #1 player. Talk about him.
Yeah, Michigan's certainly making a push for that one, so we'll see if he signs on the dotted line with Ohio State. Either way, hashtag workhorse. He's a young man who only gets better the more carries that he gets throughout a game. So you look at a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, who did what he did in the national championship game for Ohio State. I think Mike Weber could be a similar guy in Urban Meyer's offense if he obviously opts to go to Columbus. Very powerful kid. I think he's faster than most people think. Young man that can do a lot of things. All
right, David Moorman is the offensive guard from Northville, going to Wisconsin, #7 in our top 10.
Yeah, and I'm glad he hung on with Wisconsin. I think he fits that system very well. I think he's a kid who could slide from right tackle inside to one of the guard spots. If he can develop a way to snap the football, he could be a center as well. I think a kid who was underrated, and I'm surprised he didn't get more major attention at the end of the day, but does stick with the Badgers through a coaching change, so good to see for David.
Okay, we're not done yet. We're going to send it over to the side stage now, where we have the national recruiting analyst for Scout, Alan True, waiting on hand. And Alan, our second-ranked guy in 2015 is Saginaw Heritage wide receiver Brian Cole. What say you about his skills?
Well, Brian's a kid who's been a star at Heritage since his sophomore year. He's played a lot of different positions, was actually one of the best players in the state as a junior, as a running back. So I think some of that versatility is going to help him at Michigan. He's got great size, 6'2", 195 pounds. I think he's going to start off as a wide receiver, but if that doesn't work out, he's got the skill set to possibly play on the defensive side of the ball as well. He enrolled early, which is going to give him a leg up on the competition. I think he needs that because he hasn't played receiver a ton, so he's going to have to learn the position. But as far as his physical tools, he's going to come in ready to compete. And it wouldn't be a surprise to see him contribute in some way for Michigan right away in the fall, just because he comes in physically ahead of those other freshmen.
Finally then, another King guy is the big guy, Keontae Stallworth. Like Thompson, he will join his teammate at MSU.
Keontae was a kid who established himself as one of the nation's best this summer. He went to a couple national camps, did really well against some of the top defensive linemen in the country. High school tackle, going to play inside for Michigan State. I think that's a perfect fit for him, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him as a 3-year, 4-year starter for the Spartans.
All right, don't go anywhere. We are just warming up on the 3rd annual State Champs Signing Day special. These fine gentlemen will be back a little bit later to talk about the top juniors in the state.
Hey guys, I'm Stephanie Funkhauser, and throughout today's Signing Day special, I'm here to count down the top 5 plays from this year as seen on State Champs. Let's start with number 5, Brighton at Livonia Churchill. 4th quarter, Churchill down 14-7 with 1:30 left to go in the game. This was 4th and long, but Brian also Brooks able to connect with Tim Doolin for the 48-yard touchdown. Churchill would go on to beat Brighton in overtime 21-14. The State Champs Signing Day special has just begun. Coming up, Scout.com's Kyle Bogenschutz and Alan True talk MAC and GLIAC recruits. Plus, Ryan Terpstra caught up with Ferris State head coach Tony Anise. Stay with us.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
We want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for 1 medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic, presented by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, returns to the campus of Wayne State University August 27th through the 29th with 3 days of action-packed games featuring the state's top teams and players. Matchups and ticket information coming soon. The Prep Kickoff Classic is brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the Marines, Community Bowling Centers, and Performance Orthopedics. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information.
Welcome on back to the State Champs Signing Day Special. This is, of course, the 3rd annual. I'm Kyle Bogenschutz, joined as I always am by National Recruiting Analyst Alan True. And we're here to talk a little MAC and GLIAC coming up, but I do want to get started talking about the depth of the talent in this class, this 2015 class, of course. Compared to most years, I guess, where do you see this one stacking up?
I think the depth, like you said, is there. I think we're going to get to about 75, 80 commits at the Division I level. Some kids going across the country. Air Force came in and got a few. Ball State came in and got some kids as usual, and a lot of kids going to the in-state schools. And so even though we didn't have a guy that's maybe a national top 10, top 20 guy, Mike Weber's the top dog in the state this year, I thought that the depth 1 through 50 to 80 was as good as it's been in the last few years.
And of course the MAC cleaning up in the state of Michigan this year as well. Western Michigan riding some of that momentum with PJ Fleck. They're rowing the boat in Kalamazoo right now. Who are some of the guys that the Broncos have been in on, even getting involved with some guys who have Power 5 conference offers?
Yeah, they have, and they've been able to keep some of those guys committed. One that I'm really high on, John Kenoy, offensive lineman from the west side of the state, East Kenton. His dad played at Central. He picks Western. Very technically sound kid, played tackle in high school, but is going to be an inside guy. And then Alex Grace, who rushed for a ton of yards through his high school career. Probably won't be a running back at the next level, outside linebacker, but you like those guys that can run on defense.
You mentioned Central Michigan, a lot going on over there as well. Dan Enos resigning at not the best time to be the offensive coordinator for Brett Bielema at Arkansas. Looking at that situation, they do have a full class with days leading up to signing day. What do you see kind of shaking out with that situation?
Well, I think they're going to end up keeping most of the class intact. They have done that to date, and I think they have some really good players in the class. Romello Ross from Detroit Western, very athletic kid. Some Big Ten schools came in on him at Sound Mind, Sound Body. He stuck with Central. Rayshawn Wilborn, who we have as a 4-star, extremely athletic outside linebacker. Kid 6'3", 6'4", played wide receiver, played linebacker, played all over the field.
Taking a look at Eastern Michigan, coming off a rough 2-10 year. Couple of guys maybe going to play for the Eagles?
Yeah, absolutely. They did well out of state. They went down to Florida. Kezio Snelling's a wide receiver who had offers from across the country. Lost him when he got hurt, but he's going up to Eastern with big-time talent. Breck Turner, a kid from Ohio that had some Big Ten interest as well.
Looking at the GLIAC, of course, we'll go to your neck of the woods and start talking about Grand Valley State. They always seem to do pretty darn well. Another good year in the 2015 class.
Yeah, and they went out of state for some kids. 2 quarterbacks I really like, Matt Crable from Moeller in Ohio, Cole Katopka from Illinois, big 6'3", 6'5" type quarterbacks. And then, of course, their base is in-state. Caleb Richard, a kid from Midland Dow with a lot of skills at running back.
Saginaw Valley State, another school right in that area who had some success this season as well.
Yeah, they did. They got, I think, one of the best signees in the GLIAC, Lazon Hicks from Ypsilanti Lincoln, 6'5", tight end, played receiver, basketball player, very athletic, nearly got some Big Ten offers at the end of the season. They're a great get for Saginaw Valley.
A big-time year for Ferris State, of course. Looking at that class, a lot of success, and we'll see if they can continue this moving forward into the future.
Yeah, and Coach Anise went back to his old stomping grounds over there in Muskegon. He pulls 2 big reds, Alizé Coleman, Teron Smith, who was part of that outstanding defense. Also got him some size over there with Oak Ridge offensive lineman Tony Curry, 6'6", 320 pounds.
Very interesting, of course, and Tony Anise actually sat down with our own Ryan Terpstra, coming off a very successful season and a run in those Division II playoffs.
Tony, thanks so much for giving us some time here on the Signing Day Special.
Thanks, Ryan. Happy to have you here.
Well, you are the current coach of Ferris State. Formerly, you were coaching at Muskegon at your last high school stop. Let's talk about when you're in a recruit's home. What kind of things do you and your staff try to impart on them? What are those visits like for you?
Well, we really ultimately want to be ourselves. So young men need to really know who they're getting from a head coaching perspective and assistant coaches, and ultimately we sell our family atmosphere.
Anything that specifically stands out to you as a college coach? Anything your staff really likes to look for when you're evaluating a prospect?
Well, first off is character. You know, we want young men that have high character. Secondly is obviously, you know, we don't have a challenge in getting him into school because academically he's on solid ground. But then it comes down to, I tell my coaches, let's go out and run around and get people who are winners.
In the GLIAC, you guys have seen a lot of success recently, a Harlan Hill winner. It's a very competitive league. Guys are going on to the next level in the NFL. A really good time to be a member of this football conference.
Well, our league is incredible. Yeah, we've got, you know, just turning on the television every week, you see, you know, three guys from the GLIAC playing in a game. I watch the Cowboys and Lions in the playoff game, and there's three GLIAC guys right there on TV. So, you know, it's awesome. Our quarterback, a great example of really kind of this recruitment process. 185 pounds as a senior in high school, now 241 pounds. So young people really need to realize, you know, if you go to the GLIAC, you're going to be exposed with an opportunity to be in the NFL. You know, we've just got great teams and great programs that really develop players into their full potential, and opportunities lie ahead for them.
Coach, thanks for spending some time with us today. Best of luck next season.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Ryan, and thank you so much, Coach Anise. All right, we wanted to make this signing day show special. We're going to do that. 4 guys are going to make their college choices right here on this very program. And we're going to start with the state championship quarterback representing Warren De La Salle. Joe Garbarino is his name. Alex Bacuzzi, his wide receiver, is along with him for support as he makes his college choice. Now, first off, before we do that, Joe, welcome. Thanks for being here. All right, tell me about the journey, the state championship run.
Well, it was good that our team came together at the right spot, and it was amazing to get there, and we got the rings, and so we love it.
All right, congratulations. All right, now let's start the next phase of your life. Where are you going to play your college football?
I'll be playing my college football at Northwood.
Congratulations, and quickly, why Northwood?
I like the coaching staff. They made me feel like a family, and made me feel like I was part of their family.
All right, well, let's get some instant analysis and get a breakdown of Joe Garbarino attending Northwood. Alan.
Well, Joey's a big kid at 6'3". He's got the size and the athleticism to be a great fit in the Northwood offense. You also love a kid who has a winning pedigree, took his team to the state title this year, so all of the attributes are there for him to be the leader of that offense for years to come.
Hey guys, back to our countdown of the top 5 plays from high school football season as seen here on State Champs. For number 4, we go to week 1 of football season, Detroit Catholic Central at Muskegon. 4th quarter, game tied at 14, the Ferris State commit Muskegon's Alze Coleman gets the pitch down the sideline. 45-yard touchdown, Muskegon went on to win 21-14. It is State Champs' mission to celebrate all of our student athletes getting a chance to play at the next level. We talk NAIA and MIAA football next on the State Champs Signing Day Special.
Your home for high school sports is Michigan's original high school sports show, State Champs. For over a decade, the multiple Emmy Award-winning State Champs covers all sports statewide, 40 weeks a year. Catch State Champs Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit and StateChampsNetwork.com.
Define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
State Champs would like to thank the Michigan Makeup Academy of Troy for doing the makeup for the State Champs Signing Day Special.
My name is Shauna Moore, and I'm with Michigan Makeup Academy in Troy, Michigan. So we're an educational institution. We provide services for fashion shows, television events like this. We need men's grooming or women's makeup. We're located at 1985 Westwick Beaver, that's in Troy, Michigan, and our website is mmatroy.com.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
We want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
Your home for high school sports is Michigan's original high school sports show, State Champs. For over a decade, the multiple Emmy Award-winning State Champs covers all sports statewide, 40 weeks a year. Catch State Champs Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit and StateChampsNetwork.com. Welcome back to the 3rd annual State Champs Signing Day Special. Taking a break from some of the recruiting talk to talk with the athletic director from Lawrence Technological University, Scott Trudeau. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, Lauren?
All right. Well, Lawrence Tech obviously is big in everything we have going on at State Champs, and there has been a tremendous amount going on at the university over the past several years. Now, we all know what it stands for academically. I mean, when it comes to return on investment, which I would say is probably one of the most important considerations when factoring in where your child should attend a university. It's #1 in Michigan, and it ranks 6th nationally. So we know all that, but there was a few years ago that you decided to make a big commitment to athletics, and it has grown substantially. Talk about the state of the athletics program now, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have no idea how much is going on here.
5 years ago, we decided to go into the NAIA and kick off varsity athletics on campus, revive it after almost 50 years of no athletics on campus. So it's kind of a big endeavor, and we started with 4 teams 4 years ago, and now we have 19 teams, and we're expanding even more as we look to the future too.
Yeah, talk about expansion. They're building a brand new dormitory because they've got to house more students, more student athletes, of course, means more student housing. How has it changed the dynamic on campus?
That's probably been the best thing about the whole sports endeavor is we're all Blue Devils. Before it was kind of kids just went to class and went home, and now it's an atmosphere. You know, like kids want to stick around. They don't want to go home on the weekends. They stick around and cheer on the Blue Devil hockey team or the basketball team, whatever it may be. You know, it's just good to see that atmosphere like a normal college campus.
Yeah, we're here to kind of blow away the stereotypes, right? Larry Tech. You know, the commuter school. That's what they believe this is all about, but it has changed so much.
Oh, absolutely. And then, you know, you just see the blue and the white everywhere. It's fun to see, and, you know, there's a lot more excitement.
No doubt. Now, you're adding a couple of sports this year.
We're adding in men's volleyball next year, and another men's hockey team. So we're going to add 2 teams next year. Looking at baseball and softball the following year, so we're about 1.5 years out from baseball and softball. A women's hockey team in a couple years as well. So.
Wow, well, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, because this is a football show. We see the excitement that's happening at Davenport University. They are starting a football program fall of 2016. Could you ever see that happening here?
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, they're the 3rd team in our league that has football, and you know, I never thought we'd have baseball at Lawrence Tech, and we have baseball in 1.5 years. So anything is possible at Lawrence Tech. That's kind of their motto. So
that's right.
I do not dismiss the opportunity of football somewhere down the line.
All right, Scott Trudeau, Athletic Director at Lawrence Tech, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lauren.
All right, well, let's get back to the football talk. Talk about the small colleges. After all, that's where 90% of our kids end up playing. Let's talk about NAIA football and MIAA football with Ryan Terpstra and Alan True.
Hey, thanks, Lauren. We're back in the studio. I'm Ryan Terpstra, alongside me, Alan True, and we're going to get into the NAIA and the MIAA, 2 smaller conferences than Division II, but 2 conferences getting a lot of kids from the state of Michigan. And Alan, in the NAIA, we've got a new player who's making a lot of noise.
Yeah, Davenport, they got a lot of commitments really before the fall even let out. They moved fast in recruiting. They have a head coach in Lou Esposito who has had experience. He's coached at Western Michigan, coached under Tony Anise at Ferris. They have great facilities there, and for these kids, there's no established depth chart, so you have a chance to come in, even playing field, and possibly play early.
30-plus kids in that class, and you know what? A lot of talented kids, too. Let's talk about a few of them. Jacob Jeter, the running back from Plainwell. We've seen some great plays from him this year, and also some impressive numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Very productive kid. You like that. Kid that's able to do a lot of different things. He's not just a runner. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Depending on what kind of offense they run, they're going to have some versatility there with him.
If you're an OK Red fan, you remember Mason Oppel, the quarterback from Hudsonville. He won a lot of games. He's a tough kid. He's a football player, as we like to say.
Yeah, you don't see many 225-pound quarterbacks coming out of the high school level. Compare him a little bit to Jason Vanderline we just talked about. I think the question with Mason is, what is he? Is he a tight end, fullback, running back, linebacker, or can he play quarterback? But I think you like to have a kid that gives you those options.
Yeah, when you're starting a program, those are the kind of kids you want to build around. East Kentwood, one of the surprises in Division I this year, a lot of it because of the play of Michael Ivey, their running back.
Another kid extremely productive as a senior, brings some serious speed to the table, very elusive kid. Another one that can catch the ball out of the backfield. Another guy who gives you some options. I think he's going to be a running back, but defensive back also not out of the question.
When Davenport begins play, they will play Siena Heights. They've got a nice one, Dylan Steele, an athlete out of Southgate Anderson. Whenever you have a guy that can play either side of the ball, that's a good thing.
Absolutely, and you like kids with length. 6 feet, 165 pounds, so he needs to add some weight, but very long arms, and as you mentioned, athletic enough to play wide receiver, could play corner, maybe safety.
MIAA. Now that is Division III, so there's no athletic scholarships, but a lot of kids kind of on the fence waiting to see if they could fill out a class in the Division II realm or if they're going to go to one of those schools. So some of those dominoes fall a little bit later, Alan.
Yeah, they do, but one kid that we already know where he's headed to is Noah Dykstra from Mona Shores, and he's headed off to Adrian. You love a kid who's coming in off of a state title appearance. He was a big part of that. 112 tackles as a senior, knows how to find the football.
And his defensive coordinator coached me, so you know he's well coached.
So experience with greatness.
Exactly, exactly. Well, that's a look at the NAIA and the MIAA. Now let's head back to Lauren.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, this is a real treat. We have them in studio, and we're talking NAIA football. We have the commissioner of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, Rob Miller, here. Rob, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be part of your program.
All right, well, great. You know, when we talk college football, we don't automatically think about the NAIA, yet there is a tremendous history.
Well, I think there is. It goes back probably 80 years. Some great teams, some people that have played in the NFL, some unbelievable programs that if we mentioned them, you'd go through it. But it hasn't been big in the Midwest. It's been bigger out in the Rocky Mountain area, things like that. But there can be a great NAIA president, and it's coming to the Great Lakes.
So 23 conferences, over 260 schools in the NAIA. What's the major difference between the NAIA and, say, Division II and Division III schools?
Well, you know, a lot of it comes down to logistics. Some of it comes down to just that logo. That logo's known from the NCAA because of a lot of the Division I schools out there. But you go back, the history is about the same. When it comes down to it, the difference between NAIA and NCAA Division II comes down to they offer a few more scholarships. They're usually a little bit bigger institutions. In Division III, it comes down to basically Division III has the philosophy of non-scholarships. NAIA has the philosophy of scholarships. And so the competitive is just a little bit different.
Absolutely. And let me tell you this. WAC football is growing. Davenport's going to be starting up in the fall of 2016. Quickly talk about the growth of football within the conference.
You know, we have 3 programs right now that have football. You have Siena Heights and Concordia Van Arbor who have football, and then you have Davenport starting football. We do not have it as a conference sport because you need 5. We're looking forward to very soon having that 5. So they play in a different conference right now, but we obviously support them every day.
Okay, Rob, thank you so much for joining us here on the Signing Day Special.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Stephanie back with you as we continue our countdown of the top plays of football season here on the Signing Day Special. Our number 3 play is from Week 6. Detroit English Village at Detroit Cass Tech. East English down 21-16, driving for the game-winning touchdown, but Cass Tech's Kashawn Gilmore with the one-handed interception to preserve the victory for Cass Tech. Hold on to your hats. Rico Beard and Sam Webb are getting set to debate Michigan versus Michigan State in recruiting, plus our second commitment of the show is next, only on the State Champs Signing Day Special.
The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic, presented by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, returns to the campus of Wayne State University August 27th through the 29th with 3 days of action-packed games featuring the state's top teams and players. Matchups and ticket information coming soon. The Prep Kickoff Classic is brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the Marines, Community Bowling Centers, and Performance Orthopedics. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information.
Online ordering is so fast and easy with Hungry Howie's. You can do it from any device.
Any device? Like this fax machine?
No.
What about this 19th century cell phone? 2 cans on a string. Your mom's car phone. Megaphone! Dash pizza.
Pineapple and ham radio.
Say see you to the phone call and oh yeah to fast and easy online ordering. Get a free medium pizza with your first online order. Now that's an idea.
Hungry Howie's! We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
Welcome back to the State Champs Signing Day Special. This is the 3rd annual one. I'm Kyle Bogenschutz, and pleasured every year to be joined by a couple of fine gentlemen. We're representing essentially every radio station broadcast within the various 30 miles. We have Sam Webb to my far right, obviously, Sports Talk 1050 WTK, also with GoBlueWolverine.com, of Scout.com, and then we have the venerable Rico Beard of Spartan Mag, Rivals.com, Detroit Sports 105.1. So this should be an exciting segment, gentlemen. It's like Christmas morning. It looks like you guys got a couple of presents you want to exchange maybe here?
No, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Paul Bunyan pays taxes in Ingham County. He stays up there so long.
Hey, you know, all I have to say is Jim Harbaugh. That's my answer to everything you say is number 4, Jim Harbaugh. That's it.
How many games he won?
Rico, it doesn't matter, man.
So is this like the
I only came to say Jim Harbaugh.
Okay, there it is.
Only came to say Jim Harbaugh.
I only get 15 seconds because we need to know.
That's all you need.
We're going to give you plenty of time, Rico. Obviously, we got to talk about Harbaugh. We need to know what he had for breakfast, earlier this morning. It's quite a big deal as
this guy with the
Rico
props,
reaches.
Man. There you go.
Oh yeah, breakfast of champions.
This is what he puts on his cereal.
Absolutely.
We care about Jim Harbaugh.
Was that with Raisin Bran or Cheerios?
Hey man, you know we put together that care package for Mark D'Antonio a couple years ago. You remember that, right?
I know.
When he was feeling kind of under the weather, we hooked him up.
So when is Malik gonna sign with Michigan?
I didn't. Hey man, his mom.
We still waiting.
Well, listen.
Okay.
I talked to his mom about it, and she said, look, I'm gonna be a good parent, and I'm gonna let him do what he wants to do, even if I don't think it's a great decision.
Kyle, I can't wait to hear about this year's savior at the University of Michigan.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh.
There's still a lot going on from a recruiting perspective. We can get into what's going to happen next fall. We could probably end with that as far as predictions goes. But when we talk about the signing day classes for Michigan, I mean, it's still very much in flux. Jim Harbaugh is still visiting a lot of kids. Where are we at right now, Sam, and I guess trying to finish out that 2015 class?
Yeah, absolutely. Michigan picked up an extra scholarship when it was determined that Justice Hayes wasn't going to be back for his 5th year. So they are turning over every stone. That means committed kids aren't necessarily committed in the eyes of the University of Michigan, meeting with guys like Mike Weber, for instance, who's committed to their arch rival, Ohio State. Not going to let that die. Jim Harbaugh. So you have him going down to New Mexico and picking off Texas quarterback Zach Gentry, who is a big-time 6'6", 230-pound quarterback, 4-star kid, number 19 in the country, and a mobile kid. And that's really, I think, is the priority, or was the priority for this class, was helping solidify the quarterback position and having some more competition there. So between him and a local kid, Alex Malzone, I think Michigan's going to have a lot more competition at that spot.
Why do you feel they went with 2 quarterbacks in this class, and do you think that'll be a trend moving forward? We'll get to you in a second.
I do think it will be a trend. And
I'm just here, man.
In the absence of experience, you want a lot of competition, and then the cream rises to the top. And I think, if anything, he was able to intensify things by bringing in a kid, a heralded kid, into the equation. Now, he's going to be at a deficit because all the other guys are going to be here for the spring. Alex is already enrolled, so they're going to be able to get the offense together, get some chemistry with the receivers. Zach Gentry's not going to have that, but what he does have is he's the biggest of the guys, he's the fastest of the guys, and his arm rival Shane Morris, so he has the talent to really compete right away.
And plus, they'll have a 2-quarterback offense where both will be on the field, throwing 2 balls.
Well, there's going to be multiple ways to beat Michigan State, especially with Pat Narduzzi now, off to Pittsburgh. But it did seem like Mark D'Antonio and that staff were prepared for that move. How do you think it'll affect them on the field, and also from a recruiting perspective?
From a recruiting perspective, Pat Narduzzi is one of the main recruiters. It's going to hurt a little bit, but they brought in Mark Schneider from Texas A&M, not necessarily to run the defense, but he's a guy that's there for recruiting purposes. He'll also help out on defense, don't get me wrong, but they prepare. Harlan Barnett has been groomed to be the next defensive coordinator. He's the co-coordinator now, but on game day, anybody who makes the call on game day, that's the real coordinator to me. So,
looking at Michigan State from a need standpoint, how do you think they established this class? I mean, this class has been pretty much done for quite some time up in Eastland.
It has. You're probably going to look at, they just picked up Drake Martinez yesterday, JUCO safety, Taylor Martinez's little brother. And you're probably looking at
Did Michigan offer him?
No, Michigan can't take JUCOs, so
they
that's
can't
only
take
Michigan
JUCOs.
State.
They can't win either. You're looking at probably going to look at Andrew and David Dow, the twins coming out of Ohio, out of St. Edwards. One's a safety, one's an athlete.
You sure you're going to be able to keep them from Urban?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. But for Michigan State, it's really about depth, because when you go to state, you've already got a lot of people established. Larry Scott, LJ Scott, is probably the only guy out of this class with a legitimate shot to actually play from day one. Everybody else is probably going to end up getting redshirted. That's the Mark D'Antonio way. Out of last year's class, 18 guys got redshirted. So you know, it's not all the pomp and circumstances like some schools. They actually come to Michigan State and develop their players, and the players get better, so they become fifth-year players like a Tony Lippett, and as you see him playing in Senior Bowls and doing things like that.
I give Michigan State credit. I give them credit. They've been able to establish their program. But see, here's how I look at it. You see, I don't know if you're too young to maybe know this reference, but they say the sun shines on the dog's behind every now and then. Well, Michigan State is like a big old behind. Been shining on it for a little while longer. But see, the sun goes down, Rico. The sun goes down, and guess who came in when it was dark? Guess who came in when it was dark?
You paid enough for him.
Listen, you have to pay for quality.
Jim Harbaugh.
You got to pay for quality.
Jim Harbaugh didn't pay
Hey,
for
man,
it.
there's no
All right.
question. Everywhere he's been, he wins, and he wins quickly.
Has he won in Michigan yet?
He just got here.
Okay.
When he was there, they won, and he's back now.
So finally make a bowl game?
I'm just saying.
All right. So the quick question, I guess, becomes now that Michigan State goes to Michigan for the first time in 3 years, they played two straight times in East Lansing. What's going to happen this fall? Can Jim Harbaugh beat Michigan State in his first season?
No. Let's be real.
Well, listen, we don't know who the signal caller is. I mean, listen, the man is still human. Got to develop a quarterback.
He's not going to
see
play.
what happens.
He's not going to play.
But for you to dismiss it, because listen, here's what you got to know about Jim Harbaugh as well. He stepped onto the plate at Stanford, and there was this big dog named Pete Carroll over at USC, and he said, we bow to no man, and we bow to no team. So if he's going to say that about Pete Carroll, you think he's flinching about Mark D'Antonio?
You know what?
Are you serious?
Those words are from...
Come on, man.
Wait,
and
those
what did he
words
do?
sound real
What did he
familiar,
do?
Sam.
He pulled off the biggest upset in the history of college football.
Sam, I'm glad you mentioned those words. They're very familiar. I believe Mark D'Antonio said them about Michigan.
Oh, he did that? What,
We bow to no man.
Well,
and pride comes football.
We'll see how that works out during the Jim Harbaugh era.
And we'll obviously have plenty of time to talk about it. I feel like you two will do plenty of that on the air and even off the air, possibly. Of course, we're going to go ahead and send it back over to Stephanie Funkhauser, a Michigan lady herself, with some more Funky Five.
Down to the top 2 plays of the year of 2014 football season. Let's go back to week 9. Waterford Mott at Birmingham Groves. Waterford Mott trailing 43-42 with under 2 minutes left. Dakota Cup will find Randy Bicknell, and he will rumble up a 50-yard game-winning touchdown. Mott beats Groves 49-43. Corsairs made the playoffs for the first time in 7 years.
All right, thank you very much, Stephanie. It's time now for another young man to make his college selection, where he will play his college football. Obviously, in this segment, we've been talking about the Big Ten. And so we have Birmingham Brother Rice wide receiver Grant Perry here, who had made a commitment prior, but you can quell the rumors here. We've been hearing a lot of talk that you might flip, that you might switch, that maybe your original decision was not where you're going to play college football. So welcome. And if you're ready, why don't you go ahead and make that decision?
Well, I'm going to commit to Northwestern. Go Wildcats.
All right, so the Wildcats is his choice. It was his original choice, and it will stay his choice. Talk about the fact that, you know, when you make a commitment early, and as people begin to reevaluate your career, and they start saying, you know, boy, this school could use a wide receiver. I think this kid's talent is being a little undervalued. What was that like for you to go through?
You know, it was a long process. You know, a lot of schools. I've been talking to a lot of schools, and you know, I just figured Northwestern was the best fit, best coaches for me, and I really got the home atmosphere there.
Yeah, what was it like when you made your visit?
It was real good. They showed me a real nice time. I got to know the coaches, some players, and went real well, and it definitely sealed my commitment.
What do they tell you when they talk about, you know, as a young athlete, you know, especially when you're a high school star, you got to start all over at the next level. What do they tell you in terms of, are they going to give you an opportunity to try to compete and play right away?
Yeah, they said, you know, you have a good chance of coming in and playing. It all depends on you and how hard you work. They're losing some receivers, so that helps my case.
Congrats to Grant. And let's go to Alan True now for some instant analysis on this decision.
Well, I think this was big for Northwestern to keep him and hang on to him here because other schools were coming after him. They had some issues with drops last year, the Wildcats did, and Grant Perry is one of the most sure-handed receivers, not only in the state, but in the country. He caught 105 passes as a senior, so you can't beat that. He's polished enough to come in right away and play for Pat Fitzgerald and company.
Who are the top juniors in the state for next season? Stick around, and another state champion makes his college choice right here on the 3rd annual State Champs Signing Day Special.
define the fabric of a team. It's not selfish. It's not boastful. It's about many, sewn together to reach one common goal. But in order to win, you must learn to work together.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
We want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech. Possible is everything.
Online ordering is so fast and easy with Hungry Howie's. You can do it from any device.
Any device? Like this fax machine?
No.
What about this 19th century cell phone? 2 cans on a string. Your mom's car phone. Megaphone. Dash, 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 pizza. Pineapple and ham radio.
Say see you to the phone call and oh yeah to fast and easy online ordering. Get a free medium pizza with your first online order. Now that's an idea.
Hungry Howie's.
Welcome back to the State Champs Signing Day Special. What a show it's been so far. Gentlemen, you agree?
Excellent.
Absolutely. I love the ad lib. All right, the guys are back. We're talking about the top juniors now. So the class of 2016, and there's a lot of talent in this group. We've got our top 10 that we've kind of sorted out, had a little bit of arguments back and forth, but that's what it's all about. Let's start with Scott Bernstein, Oakland Press, StateChampsNetwork.com, our number one guy. Outside linebacker from Ann Arbor Skyline, already planning to go to La La Land and play at USC, Dalen Hayes.
Yeah, I think the best adjective to describe him right now is enticing. This guy has all the physical tools, but hasn't had a lot of the experience. I think he's only played about a half dozen high school football games in the last 2 years. He's been at a lot of different high schools. I think this is his 4th high school at Skyline, but there's no doubt he is the total package. This guy is a blue chipper.
Our 10th ranked prospect for the class of 2016 for Farmington Hills Harrison, the defensive end, Khalid Kareem.
Possibly the fastest rising recruit in Metro Detroit right now. He has 24 offers, just recently picked up offers from Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. He is a force to be reckoned with in the trenches on the line, had 19 sacks last year, gets off the ball so quickly. I think whoever lands him is just getting a gem.
All right, let's send it over to our gem, Tom Markowski of StateChampsNetwork.com, formerly of the Detroit News, our 2nd ranked prospect. Tom is the uncommitted wide receiver from Martin Luther King High School, Donnie Corley.
Donnie Corley, formerly of Wyandotte Roosevelt. I know Scott has a chance to see him. He's a big fan of Donnie's. I am too. The best receiver in the class of 2016, 6'2", 180. He plays bigger than that. He has a vertical of 32 inches, really outjumps the defenders. Great hands. He's a physical receiver, getting a lot of big-time looks, taking visits this weekend. Notre Dame, Michigan State, both unofficial.
All right, I believe our guy at number 4 is going to have a big senior season. We're talking about Southfield running back Matt Falcon. Kid is good.
Like Hayes, you really haven't seen a lot of Falcon on the field, but believe me, he can do it. 215, has speed, 4.4 in the 40. Just hasn't really had a chance to show himself during the high school season. He really needs to stay away from the injuries so we all can appreciate his talent.
You all know Kyle Bogenschutz. You see him every week on State Champs, the Recruit Report with Kyle Bogenschutz, and you can also read him on Scout.com. And Michael Onwenu is another standout lineman from Cass Tech, an offensive guard recruit, 5th on our list, and he's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, offensive guard, but I think he could play defensive tackle at the next level. He's got great size in that 6'3" range, 290 pounds, but he carries that weight very well. Explosive off the line. As soon as the ball is snapped, he's pushing guys back or pushing them forward, depending on which side of the ball he's playing on. I think he has a chance to play defensive tackle or guard at the next level. Very impressive kid, and again, he moves really well for his size, which is something that really stands out to me.
Well, you know, Martin Luther King in Detroit keeps turning out great players. We keep talking about those guys. Lavert Hill is another DB that is a standout.
Yeah, ball skills. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You saw in the playoffs him make an incredible interception, especially on a deep pattern. He was just able to get in front of the football and make a play, and that's really what it comes down to. Jordan Lewis, a young man from Cass Tech before him, obviously Lavert Hill now at King, but that's a guy who you look at and you say, he's a playmaker. He can do it from the cornerback position as a true cover corner.
All right, we go back to the well and Alan True on the side stage. We all know the name Michael Jordan, right, Alan? But do you know Plymouth High School as an outstanding tackle that will make his own name for himself? Our third-ranked player from the class of 2016.
Michael's a kid that we saw last summer at Michigan's camp, and that was where he earned his very first scholarship offer from the Wolverines. From there, went out as a junior, had a great season, picked up a bunch more scholarship offers. Very athletic kid. You don't see a lot of kids almost 6'6", 275, 280 pounds that can move their feet the way that he can. One question we had about him going into the season is the mean streak. Is he that nasty type of Big Ten lineman? He showed more of that as a junior, and I think that's why more schools came in and offered him. I don't know if he can dunk from the free throw line, but he's a very athletic kid, and I think that's why schools are all over him right now.
All right, out on the west side of the state, Traverse City West to be exact, another lineman that we like a lot, Theo Lacusa. Alan, tell us about the big man.
Theo's a big, strong kid. He goes about 320 pounds. And at that size and strength, he can play inside or outside of the next level. Traverse City West also coaches up their linemen extremely well, so he's going to be technically ready. They had Jake Fisher go to Oregon, be extremely successful. Connor Hayes go to Pittsburgh, and I think Theo's their next big-time lineman. He's got a big-time package of skills.
All right, thank you so much, Alan, and we're looking forward to seeing next year's class. Okay. Enough of the quarterbacks and the wide receivers. Let's get to a commitment from some of the guys who do the real work, the guys in the trenches. And so we have Southfield's Marcus Grimes here, who is ready to announce where he will be playing his college football. It's been, I'm sure, a difficult process in terms of trying to figure it out.
It was definitely a difficult process, but I've decided to further my education and my football career at Ohio University.
All right. Very nice, congratulations. All right, so we've got, so you're gonna stay in the MAC, yes. So you'll be close to home, so I'm sure that your mom is proud that you'll be close to home playing what's some really competitive football. Talk about the recruiting process and what that was like for you and how you eventually came to choose Ohio.
It's truly a blessing, but the recruiting process is very stressful, very stressful. I had a lot of FCS schools talking to me, and then I got offer from Ohio, and I went down there and visited, and I came down to my top two between Ohio and the University of Northern Iowa. And it was really close, but at the end of the day, I chose Ohio because ultimately it was closer to my family.
Yeah, and what is it about the coaching staff and those guys that really won you over?
Frank Solich is an awesome coach, great head coach. He really knows what he's doing. He's been in the business for a long time. And Dave Johnson, he'll be coaching my position. So I'm comfortable putting my football career in his hands for the next 5 years.
Congratulations, Marcus. We really do appreciate you coming in. And again, this happened so fast, he didn't even have time to get a hat. The coaches are coming actually right after we film this segment. So once again, great job. And even though it's going to be in Ohio, we know you'll represent Michigan well, and we'll come see you play, and who knows, maybe we'll see you playing on Sunday.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, congratulations. And let's get somebody not so tall next to me now. For some instant analysis, let's go to Alan True right now.
I think the great thing about this pickup is Ohio had a chance to watch him through his senior year, offered him late. You love a kid that developmentally is on his way up. Big kid, 6'6", has the frame to put on more weight and keep that athleticism that makes him so special. I think Marcus is a great pickup for the Bobcats.
Hey guys, don't forget to follow State Champs on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and even LinkedIn for everything high school sports. We know you guys love social media, and we do too. More of the State Champs Signing Day special is coming up next. Stay with us.
Your home for high school sports is Michigan's original high school sports show, State Champs. For over a decade, the multiple Emmy Award-winning State Champs covers all sports statewide, 40 weeks a year. Catch State Champs Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit and StateChampsNetwork.com. The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic, presented by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, returns to the campus of Wayne State University August 27th through the 29th, with 3 days of action-packed games featuring the state's top teams and players. Matchups and ticket information coming soon. The Prep Kickoff Classic is brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the Marines, Community Bowling Centers, and Performance Orthopedics. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information.
We want you.
We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anyone.
We want the brainiacs, visionaries, geniuses, and game changers. We want the students who will change the world through technology, science, business, and design.
So if you're ready to explore your possibilities,
we want you at LTU.
Lawrence Tech. Possible is everything.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
Your home for high school sports is Michigan's original high school sports show, State Champs. For over a decade, the multiple Emmy Award-winning State Champs covers all sports statewide, 40 weeks a year. Catch State Champs Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit and StateChampsNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the third annual State Champs Signing Day Special. Well, we've already had 3 commitments. This is number 4, our final one of the program. And if you don't recognize this young man, well, he is a back-to-back state champion, a Mr. Football finalist, DJ Zazula out of Clarkson High School, joined by his parents, Karen and Brian, as we get set to figure out and hear exactly what university he is going to attend. And it's a little different, and it's special in terms of the kind of opportunity he's going to have at the university level. So first off, DJ, let me ask you quickly, 2-time state champ. Seems like you've achieved everything you could have sought out to do. What is this moment right now like for you?
It's great to see all the eyes come on me as they anticipate my decision, and I just want to reflect on all the accomplishments that the team has done over at Clarkson and all that we've done, and it's something special to take the next chapter in life and to close that chapter. Something great.
That's right. We're going to turn the page from high school to college. It is time to find out, where will you play your college ball?
I decided to play at Wayne State University, both football and baseball.
This is what's special about this. Both baseball and football going to keep it close to home, going to play in Detroit at Wayne State. How'd you come about this decision?
Definitely number 1 was the academics, all the opportunities in Detroit, and number 2, the winning tradition at Wayne State, and also I can play both football and baseball and be a dual sport athlete at the collegiate level.
All right, well, get ready, my friend. You're going to be busy. All right, congratulations, and for some instant analysis, let's go to Alan True right now to break down this decision.
I think there's a lot to like here about this pickup. Not only is he a dual sport guy, but he's a proven winner. You love that from a quarterback who's won state titles and played on big stages. There's not going to be any setting or pressure situation that's too big for him. And I think that's why he's going to have a great career with the Warriors.
All right, thank you so much, Alan. And once again, congratulations to all the commits who were here today, who announced where they will be playing their college football. Play of the Year is now Stephanie.
It is finally time for our #1 play of the year from the Division 8 Football State Championship. Muskegon Catholic Central versus Munising. Tommy Scott takes the kickoff in the first quarter and returns it all the way for a 99-yard touchdown. And that would be the longest kickoff return for a touchdown in state championship game history. Muskegon CC would go on to win its 2nd straight Division 8 football state title. Huge day for Tommy Scott. He is committed to Ferris State as well. Thanks for sticking with us on the Signing Day Special and our top 5 plays of the year. Stay tuned for a special announcement about the Prep Kickoff Classic from the Detroit Sports Commission.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for one medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
I'm Drew Brees, and being a dad means the world to me. And one of the most important things any parent can do is make sure their kids get active at least 60 minutes each day. Studies show that physical activity not only helps kids stay healthy, it can enhance important skills like concentration and problem solving, which can improve academic performance. This means physical activity can help your kids in the most important game of all, life.
The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic, presented by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, returns to the campus of Wayne State University August 27th through the 29th with 3 days of action-packed games featuring the state's top teams and players. Matchups and ticket information coming soon. The Prep Kickoff Classic is brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the Marines, Community Bowling Centers, and Performance Orthopedics. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information.
Welcome back to the State Champs Signing Day Special. Tom Markowski back with me here as we talk about the opening of the football season. It's not that far away. And the premier event that happens each and every year now takes place at Wayne State, the Detroit Sports Commission's Prep Kickoff Classic. It's now a few years into their run at Wayne State, coming over from Eastern Michigan, and it has been a successful move.
I think every year it gets better and better. And you're right, Lauren, when they moved to downtown Detroit and sitting up in the stands and you get to see the skyline downtown and then the new center area to the left, I think it's tremendous. And really what makes that event is the matchups and the teams they get there and of course the players. And you can just remember all the great players that played there, and Mike Weber last year and Oak Park and all the great teams, St. Mary's, Brother Rice. And every year they come up with some really good matchups, and it's going to be a test this year to see if they can top last year's.
All right, the schedule of games, that announcement is coming up very soon. Hope you've enjoyed our third annual Signing Day Special. If you missed any of this program, what, you don't have a DVR? I kid. This show will re-air tonight at 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Super Bowl Sunday, immediately following State Champs at 9:30 a.m., also at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. There are rebroadcasts planned for Monday and Tuesday, too, on Fox Sports Detroit. Or if you have Comcast all week long on Channel 900, check the guide for details. Michigan's premier high school sports show, State Champs, airs every Sunday at 9 a.m., covering every sport all school year long. I want to thank everyone who was a part of making this show a success. I want to thank Lou Batanti for being the engine that drives all of our Yellow Flag and State Champs productions. I'm Lauren Plank. Good luck to all of our recruits representing all of our great Michigan high schools. Thank you for watching. For anything and everything State Champs, log on to StateChampsNetwork.com.
State Champs Signing Day Special is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughraiser.com for details. The Detroit Sports Commission, where champions are made and championships are played. Log on to DetroitSports.org.